Hi everyone, I'm G and I'm going to be talking to you today about my book about disrupting education and how we're going to do that. I just wanted to touch on two of the chapters that I've already written, one being about compound interest and how we can teach compound interest but in a very interesting way that's going to engage and excite younger people. And the second chapter is to do with how you can actually buy a house at 16 and hopefully raise a few eyebrows, get people thinking, and hopefully disrupt the norm and hopefully stop people getting into debt when they go into university. Right, so compound interest. It's something that most people find very boring. 16-year-old wouldn't understand it, but the way I explain it in my first chapter is about Aldi baked beans. And Aldi baked beans, you know, I've been eating for forever, but long and short of it is me and my best friend used to hang out a lot when we were younger. His parents shopped at Sainsbury's, my parents shopped at Aldi. And he would never ever eat anything but Heinz beans, and I just thought this was ridiculous. As you can imagine, I've never tasted Heinz beans before this point, and I didn't know any different. So Heinz beans were no different to Aldi beans, but the price was. And I explained this, but he wasn't having it. So what we did was we bunked off school. And I went back to his house and we did a blind taste testing. So I blindfolded him, 2 tins beans, 1 Aldi, 1 Heinz, heated them up separately in a pan and got him to taste them. Bearing in mind, he's got a 50-50 chance of getting this right. Basically got it wrong. I was so pleased that, he's still, to this day, we're 40 now and he's never lived it down. So anyway, to the point, today's price is, there is I think 46p difference in a can of baked beans. I mean, that is ridiculous. I think you can almost get 3 tins of beans to 1 Heinz. So working that out, if you are a Heinz beans eater, pretend you are eating Heinz and save the difference. And in this calculation, over 35 years, if you put the difference away, the 46p difference away in a bank account, high interest, let that compound, interest on interest on interest on interest, over 35 years, you can earn roughly around £9,500. Apply this to everything you do, everything you buy. 10 items on your shopping list, 10 items that your parents buy. Compound that over time, in 35 years, even 40 years, when you finish work, you're going to be a wealthy person. So my first chapter is called How Aldi Baked Beans Can Make You Rich, and it really can. The next chapter is called How to Buy a House at 16. This is a simple process that obviously schools don't teach us, but I'm going to hopefully break that myth. In my chapters, I'm going to split it into 3. So we have the story, my backstory, how I did it early, the why you need to do it, and the action you need to take, even the dialogue you need to have with your parents. So, imagine you're sitting down at dinner with your parents, and Johnny says to his mum and dad, "Mum, Dad, I want to buy a house." Basically, they're going to laugh at him. But by using this method, these techniques, this action, then the whole family can benefit. So they're going to say, "Johnny, you haven't got any money, you can't afford a mortgage, what are you going to do?" So he then goes on to explain that, "Mum, Dad, you can set up a limited company. You become the directors. I become a shareholder in the business. I won't draw from it, I won't take any money. This is purely for my future." "How are we going to put the deposit down, Johnny?" "Well, we remortgage this house we're living in, this very house, and I will pay the difference in the mortgage payments." Right, Johnny. Okay, I'm listening. So all of a sudden, he's got the means, he's got the action, he's got the know-how. And in these chapters, I'm going to explain in more depth how young people can make money before they enter into the workplace. So Johnny could go to university. This house that they buy could be rented out. The profit put away in a bank account pays for his university fees. He comes out of university 5 years later, debt free, and potentially with a rising asset value. Anywhere up to £50,000. He could sell this property, take his 50 grand, go and start his new life without any debt, with his university degree. No problem. This is something that needs to be taught. I'm going to try and teach it, but I think people need to take note. And if this is something that interests you, please get in touch and I can discuss it further. But hopefully, my book is going to be out middle of next year. I've got 12 odd more chapters to write. But they're all going to be exciting. They're all going to be based on real life skills. And I hope this interests all of you out there. Okay, thanks for listening. See you later.